was a rousing success. I loved it. Look, and I had lost all interest in the All-Star game. All-Star weekend's great. You've been there. But the All-Star game hasn't been good, in my view, since 2014. And some people would go even further back than that. But this was phenomenal, and I've been watching games, All-Star games, my whole life. I've never seen players in an All-Star game for the NBA compete this hard in the fourth quarter. And it got me thinking, when's the last time you've seen that much talent on the floor competing at that level? Now, I'm not saying the quality of play was higher than we see in the playoffs and in the finals and stuff like that, because of teamwork, camaraderie, all that. Those teams are better. But just sheer individual talent, this was phenomenal, and I think it was due to the new format. I like the fact that they went with the quarter stuff, where you can win each quarter.
Yeah.
And, they did it.
It's old CBA style, right? In the CBA, which before the G League, back before it was the D League, and it was the CBA, you used to get points on your standings for winning a quarter.
For winning a quarter.
Yeah.
I don't know. Look, I don't want to get into whether or not they should look at doing this in the regular season. I mean, we could talk about that another time. But I liked it because if you're getting blown out, you got new life every quarter.
Right.
And you saw it. Giannis's team got blown out in the first quarter. Then they blew out LeBron in the second quarter. Third quarter's a tie. And in the fourth quarter, they really went at it. I loved it. I thought it was a great success. And it was the best All-Star game I've seen in years.
It's the best All-Star game I've seen in years because I don't like watching. I love basketball.
Right.
I love all these players. I don't like watch because they usually give zero effort. Zero effort, especially the defensive end. And for the most part, that was this game on some
early
level.
on, yeah. The first three quarters.
I thought the fourth quarter was outstanding. I'd like to think some of it is the Elam ending. I also think a good portion of it is kind of honoring a little bit the legacy of Kobe Bryant. I mean, I do think that motivated. And I think, guys are fighting for supremacy, right? Giannis has the title of MVP, but it's still LeBron's league. Right. Kawhi's still the fight. They're like all kind of fighting for their space in the grand landscape. And we don't have KD. We don't have Steph, right? We don't have Kyrie on the floor. We don't have Clay. We're missing four guys who would be out there. So it wasn't maybe even the best of the best, but all things considered, it was fun. The flaw to the Elam ending is what you saw, like ending it on a free throws. Right. Not optimal.
If they could fix that, because I agree with you, it was outstanding the way, when I heard all of these changes, I thought, they're gimmicky, they're not going to work. But I figured, look, nothing can be worse than it had gotten.
Right, it's the All-Star game.
Yeah, and I think when the All-Star game got terrible, in my view, is when they began shooting too many threes. I tracked it. Back in 2013, they might have shot 80, 90 threes combined. And then all of a sudden in 2014, they go up to 108. Then it's up to 120-something, then 130-something. Yesterday, it was back to about a 110. It just seemed like, you're right, the first three quarters was typical All-Star.
There's lots of...
defense, open dunks, all that. Fourth quarter was phenomenal. Phenomenal.
I don't know. I don't understand why they can't play harder, longer. I don't.
Than just the fourth quarter?
Yeah. This whole idea you're going to get hurt.
Well, I think that is in guys' mind. And
how?
When I was watching...
It's not football.
But you obviously can get hurt anyway. But I hear you, and you know how it is. When you play hard, you have really less of a chance of getting hurt than when guys are out there lollygagging and stuff like that. However, when I was watching the fourth quarter, my first thought was, this is awesome. I can't believe how hard they're going at it. My second thought was, man, I hope nobody gets hurt. And it just came to my mind. Not that it was going to happen or not that it was more probable, but that's just the hope, because you'd hate to have somebody going so hard in the All-Star game.
I can't believe Rudy Gobert didn't play more. Rudy Gobert should have played in that fourth quarter.
He played a lot early on.
Yes.
He had plenty of dunks, obviously.
If you're trying to win, you might want to play the best defensive player in the league. Just a thought.
Yeah, it might have helped. It might have helped.
Yeah, going hard is certainly important. But to your point about it ending on a free throw, maybe then you're putting more onus on not fouling someone if you're 1 point away from hitting that cap.
Yeah, but there's a whole strategy to it. They're okay, so you need 3 points to win. LeBron goes down, everybody stays home and just lets him get a dunk, because that way you still have 2 possessions. You almost feel like you should go to the old, if it's like a pickup game and you get fouled, then
you just get the ball out.
Right, or you have to win by 2. right? Win by.
You could do a win by. That
two.
might be better because obviously in the first case you mentioned, they're just going to foul. If you get close to an open look or anything, I'm just grabbing you.
Right, which is the bad part. Like there's a lot of bad parts to pick up basketball that were there last night, right? There's Kyle Lowry falling down, and you felt like he was going to grab the ball and go my way. And go stand there. There's all these different. LeBron James taking a near half-court shot to try and end it, right? Anybody who's played pickup ball knows there's one guy who just wants to fire it up, just like I'm done.
And Kawhi did it.
My wife is texting me. I got to get out of here. Let me just fire up a three and try. That was LeBron, and he missed it.
Kawhi took a contested three, like maybe the possession or two before. But, yeah, I agree. I think you can't end it. You hate to end it with a free throw.
Yes.
But what was good about it was you heard the announcer saying that Team Giannis, they couldn't foul. Because if you foul, like the last few minutes, it was like they can't foul because they send them to the line. So that was good strategically, but you have to come up with something. I think, like you said, win by 2.
Anthony Davis said he purposely missed the first one to put.
Yeah, I wanted the follow-up to be, really? Are you really telling the truth? Because he looked serious. And I can't remember who it was that interviewed him. Yeah, she bought it looked like. But I wanted to really challenge him on that because I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
I do not believe that.
You got a chance to end it, you're going to end it.
I would think so.
He's hot about it.
It's 2 years in a row he was robbed.
And you know what? Like LeBron's sitting over there going, see? That's why I didn't get in the dunk contest, right?
Well, LeBron would not have gotten robbed.
Correct.
You know that.
Correct. I still think that's a mistake that he made.
Never being in it? Really?
Yeah, because he would. I mean, he was.
I don't. My personal view. Now, maybe he would have come out and done things like Dwight Howard. Remember years ago where he did these incredible athletic feats. I don't know though that LeBron would have been a great dunk contest dunker.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't see the grace that you saw with. But I never thought he would. Because he's a power dunker.
I got it. But like, look, even if you go back and you watch Kobe '97 when he won, like. He was 18. Like, Kobe's dunks weren't great.
He was great. But Kobe, Jordan, Vince Carter, they had that grace.
Yeah, well,
LeBron's more of a back truck.
Flair.
Yeah, that's what I think.
But LeBron early in the career, I think, was so explosive. Plus, he's LeBron.
He would have won, probably.
Right?
Just because he's LeBron.
It's just like when
Blake wasn't
last time they were in
phenomenal.
Chicago. Last time they were in Chicago, Jordan and Dominique, like, Jordan won because he was Jordan.
You think?
You know. But look, the point is this: do I think Aaron Gordon was robbed? Like, I guess I don't know. Like, I'm not sure. I hate the idea. Well, they planned on being. Why?
Right.
Why can't we
Did they say that before the dunk? Both of them dunked? Is that what they were saying?
Yeah, and then Gordon saying, "Well, I had all these 50s." Like, that's the problem. All these dunks are not. 50 is supposed to be a perfect dunk.
Right.
Cannot be topped. But how can you possibly have that many dunks? He's great. I'm not trying to undersell Aaron Gordon as a dunker. For a guy, he's a good 6'9", 6'10", to be that crazy athletic. That was.
I mean, look at these. These are pretty good.
Jumping over somebody and then twisting in midair is
unbelievable.
Crazy.
Here's what I think, Doug. Remember they used to have you could go 0.5, 8.5, 9.5. I think you just go decimals. So now I can give no, seriously.
And then the Russian judges always.
It's not that difficult. I'm not saying go 3 points after the decimal, 8.2. Because as you said it, dunks, there's just a little difference between what Derrick Jones Jr. doing and what Aaron Gordon doing.
You have to have guys that are willing to go like, hey, that was like a 6. And people people go crazy like, no, you don't understand. You're one of the greatest dunkers ever. That was just a very that was just kind of an average dunk compared to what I'm expecting. Like Derrick Jones, we saw the 360 from the free throw line on YouTube. How come we didn't see it when we wanted to see it? Right? So do you judge on a different scale because of expectations and because of how good these guys are? It's going to take, if you really want to have like a legit dunk contest, you got to have somebody who legitimately says like, yeah, if I gave a 7 right now, Twitter would light up and say, you're just a hater, because you're a backboard slapper who can never do all that. Fine. Okay, but the fact is that at some level, you have to have some balance there. You have to have somebody willing to go like, yeah, it was great. It was a 7. Like a 7? What do you mean 7?
It's tough to give some of these great dunks a 6 or a 7. But that's why I think the decimal is perfect.
What about
there's a system or the old?
A 9.8. That was a 9.6. Because that leaves me, the difference between a 9 and a 10 is huge, right?
Yes.
So I say, oh, that's better than a 9. but it wasn't quite a 10. I don't know if that'll be the best dunk I see all night.
Yeah.
So let me give it a 9.7.
You got to leave some room,
Yes.
right? What about having only
And then you
former
wouldn't have
dunk
time.
champions to be the judges? Because they know how hard it is.
Some of them, though. I mean, we've had some bad former champions.
They also they
judging,
don't want their kid. It's a hard thing. Like you're watching Common as a judge, and then you're like they flash to Dominique Wilkins and Dr. J in the crowd. You're like, who would know more about dunking? Those two are Common. No disrespect to Common, great dude,
Right,
yeah,
right.
and a
Great
hometown
rapper.
guy. But the problem with having ex-players is no ex-player wants to be the guy outside of Barkley who's like, that's a 6. You know, they just don't.
Yeah.
So you have to have a Simon Cowell
That's
on a
true.
panel. You just do. That's why that show took off.
There needs to be something.
There needs to be somebody that
Doug
does
Gottlieb.
that.
I think Gordon got
I
robbed.
hate it. It was terrible. Move on.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.